Hello friends, welcome back to Automation Testing Insider. This is Selenium Framework Development Part 9, and as you all know that we are creating data-driven framework with page object model design pattern. And we are almost done with our framework guys, few things here and there, and then we are done with our framework. So let me show you like what are the things we have discussed already. So these are the different things we have discussed session wise. And in the last video we talked about in the session 8 we talked about continuous integration, and I have shown you how we can run our project through Jenkins job. And we have discussed like how to generate the reports, extend report. I have shown in the last video how to send the emails. So these are the different things we have seen in the last video. Now today I'll talk about in case if you have to pass different test data in your particular test case, so how do you do that? Okay, so that is what we are going to discuss today. I was supposed to talk about tips and conclusion in this particular video, but since we have few things left, so that's why I have created this particular video. So we are going to see this today, and in the next video we'll talk about oops explanation and tips and conclusion. So many people asked about the oops concept in the framework. Okay, so already we have created based on oops concept. So I'll show you how we can relate our framework, how I can explain about the oops concept in our framework in the next video. So that is very important part which we are going to discuss in the next video. So today I'll focus on this particular thing, like let's say if you have any test case and suppose you want to pass several test data in that particular test case, so how do you do that? Okay, and so we are going to use collection framework in the framework. Okay, so collection implementation and an example. So guys, already I have implemented this the test case for this one. I'll show you step by step how we can achieve this. So let me give you an example which I have implemented. So this is our project, this is our application automationpractice.com, and just click on this sign in. So in this login page we have this option create an account. Okay, so if you enter for new user, you just enter the email address, any email address, valid email address, and create an account. So this is dummy application, so that's why it is taking any email. Okay, so this is what we are going to implement. Okay, so create an account. So last time when I have created the framework, at that time I have just validate this page only. We haven't created any test case related to this page. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll create a test case which I have already done. Okay, I'll show you that how I have created the test case for this one. So here we have different test data, like this is complete form, new form, where we have different, like we have this title, first name, last name, email, password, date of birth, first name, last name, company, address, city. So these are the different fields in this form. Okay, so take an example. If you are creating the test case for this one, so if you create the test case, then it would be very difficult to pass all the test case in as parameters, right? So to avoid that thing, how we can do that? So we can achieve that using collection interface. Okay, so collection framework. So if you are new to collection, if you don't know about the collection, so already I have created video in my blog. I have created the post, and already I have covered that part as part of video as well, as part of our Selenium series. So if you navigate to just automationtestinginsider.com, Java for Selenium, here you'll find all the collection related collection framework in Java. So all the post you can find over here, and I have corresponding video as well. So like this, I have attached the video as well, so you can refer these videos. So let me show you how I have achieved this. Okay, so this is the framework which we have created, guys. This is the project, my store project, and the first thing what you are going to do is you need to just for this page you need to just identify all the web elements. Okay, all the web elements using page factory method will store in page class. Okay, so that is already I have done. So let me show you. So this is the package. We have com.mystore page objects, so account creation page, and here you can see I have written all the objects using the @ find by, like we did for other test cases, other page classes, right? So we have different fields. This is form title, this is Mr. and Mrs. field. So here I have created for first name, we have this first name and last name. So already I have located all the web elements in this page class, and let me show you. So these are the different fields, guys, the different web elements which we have located, and this is the method which I have created, create account. Okay, so for the user actions, so we are going to perform different user actions. So for that I have created this method, create account, and here we have different parameters. So these are the different parameters which we are going to pass in this create account method. Okay, so either there are two ways. Either you can pass all the parameters, all the web elements in the same method, or you can create the separate method, separate user action method. Let's say suppose you want to enter the first name, so you can create a separate method for this first name. Okay, because since I'm using this the same method, create account, so that's why that's the reason I have passed all the values, all the parameters in the same method. And simply this here I have included this if else condition to select Mr. or Mrs. from here. So if gender dot equals ignore case, we'll get the value from Excel sheet. If it is Mr., then we'll select this particular web element. Okay, this Mr., otherwise we'll select this one. So this is about that if else condition. Here you can see, and yeah, these are the different things which we have. First name, to the selection of first name, last name, I mean entering the first name, last name, password, day, month, year. Okay, so which I have already implemented in this user action method. Okay, so this is about user action method, create account. Okay, and I have created one more method, valid registration. So once the registration is over, once we entered all the information, then we'll click on this register button. Okay, so for that I have created one more method, valid registration, and here this is the element, web element of this register button, and when we click on that one, it should navigate to home page. Okay, so we'll return the object of home page class. So this is what I have written, validate registration. When we click on this register, it will show the home page. And yeah, so let me show you the test class now. So this is about page class. Now I'll show you the test class, and I'll show you how we can pass the parameters in test class. So this is account creation page test. So this was the test case, guys, which already we have created earlier. Verify create account page test, where we are just verifying whether the user is landing on that particular page or not. Now this is the main test case which I was talking about, create account test, which I have created. So here you can see, instead of giving the parameters, all the values, because we are going to read the data from DataProvider, right? Here we have provided we have given the DataProvider. Okay, so in the same manner I'm getting the values from DataProvider, but I'm getting the value in the form of hash map. So this is the collection, guys, hash map, which takes the value in the form of key and values. Okay, so this is the key and this is the value. We have two parameters in this hash map. I mean it will take the value in the form of key and value. So this is my hash map. Now based on key, right? So key, why I have taken this hash map? Because in hash map key will be same, I mean unique, key will be unique and values can be duplicated. Okay, so yeah, using this hash map value, using this object, I am we have this method get method. Okay, in hash map, so using that get method, this is the value, I mean key. Okay, so based on this gender, this key, I'm getting the gender. Similarly for first name, last name, so these are all, what are these? These are all column values. Okay, column names basically. So let me open the Excel sheet also, so I can explain better. So this is the Excel sheet, guys. Yeah, so account creation data I have created, and similarly I have given over here this new account. Oh, sorry, this is the data provider. I'll show you that one. This is the Excel worksheet. Okay, so here you can see, yeah, we have a key and value pair, right? So we'll consider the column names as a key, and these are the data. Okay, so we have gender. So here we have gender, we have first name. Firstly, we have email. So this is the email, gender, first name, last name, like this. So we have gender, first name, last name, set password, day, month, year, everything we have here. Okay, so that's why this is how we get the values based on the key. Okay, we are calling this create account method, right? So ultimately it will call this method create account method, and it will perform the actions, whatever actions we are going to perform here. So it will type the first name, type the last name. Okay, so it will do like this. Now the most important part is I'll show you how we can get the data from data provider. Okay, and at last what we are just validating. I'm calling this valid registration, which will returns the object of home page, and simply we have put the assertion over here and validating this URL, whether we are getting the homepage URL or not. Okay, simply homepage dot get URL method using this get your current URL method. So this is how you can test, and let me show you this data provider, what I have done in data provider. So if you remember earlier we used to so let me talk about this one, the previous data provider. So simply let's say if you want search product, so this is the data provider for search product. So simply we are getting the data provider and in the form of object rows and columns, right? So in this form of 2D array. So this is what we are getting the data. Now in case of our this account creation page test, what I have done here is I have created this data provider. I have given the name new account details data, which I am providing in my test case. So this is the new account details data, and here I have created a hash map. Okay, created the object of hash map class. So this is how you can create the object of hash map. So it has two parameters, okay, key and value. So this is how you can create the object of hash map, and simply these are the same thing which we have done for previous data providers, getting the total rows from Excel sheet using the Excel library. We have created the object of Excel library. At top let me show you, this is the object of new Excel library, which is present in my utility class, utility package. Okay, and yeah, so these are all, these two will get the total row count and columns count. Okay, now using this for loop we are reading the data from Excel sheet. Okay, and we'll put the data into hash map. So we have method called put in hash map. So using that put, okay, what we are going to do, we are retrieving the data in form of key and value. So this particular thing will get the keys. Okay, so it will get the email, and the second parameter will get the value, corresponding value. So this email it will get. Okay, so this is how we can get the value, and will store data in hash map object. And at last we need to return the hash map. Okay, so simply you can write like return hash map, and instead of this object you have to give this hash map. So to avoid that I have written like this, so this is also fine. So you can return like this hash map, and simply we have provided this data provider name to our test class. So here you can see new account details data, and these are the different keys which I have talked about: gender, first name. Here we have gender, first name, last name, set password, etc. So these are the different we have values. Okay, so let me run the test case, guys, how it works. Okay, so what I'll do, probably I have already used this data, so simply I'll change this email address. I can give any random because this is dummy application, so any email will work. Now let me close this. Meanwhile, I'll start my Jenkins as well, Jenkins server, and let me push the changes. One second, just save it. We have, yeah, now we have to update the changes. We have updated the test data, right? So we need to push the changes to GitHub. So commit the changes, updated test data, and commit and push. Simply write username and password of your GitHub account. Yeah, it is done. Now what we are going to do is, so our Jenkins is fully up and running. Our Jenkins server started already. Now I'll simply log in into Jenkins, right? What happened? Localhost 8082. Username and password of Jenkins. Click on sign in. And this is the job which we have created, my store project. So let me open this one. And we have given this test case as part of regression. I have added as part of regression, so we'll run regression suite. And yeah, configure. Let me show you one more thing, guys. We are getting some unwanted logs as well, if you remember. Let me show you in the email. If you build 10, I think we got, just for testing purpose I run different builds. Okay, so let me show you some logs, which unwanted logs which we are getting related to FreeMaker. These are the different logs. Okay, couldn't find template. So if you don't want to, anyways this doesn't affect anything, but if you don't want these logs, then what you will do, simply you need to just go to your this build, and you need to just add this command -d, and this org.freemaker.logger library is equal to none. So it will stop those logs. Okay, so that is related to FreeMaker logs. Okay, so you can avoid like this. Now let me simply run this project, build with parameter, and I'm going to choose regression because that case is part of our regression. So we can run this TestNG regression and click on build. So the build number 12 is getting started. Here we go, and console output. Now our test case will start. So this is the latest element which recently we have updated test data. So it will pick the latest code from GitHub, guys. Now it will start executing the Maven lifecycle, and then it will start executing the test cases. Yeah, so now test will start. So this is the first test case. Launches the browser. It will navigate to automationpractice.com. Now it will execute test case one by one. I think we have 4 test cases in regression suite, so it will execute one by one all the test cases. So this is the first test case. Now here you can see we are getting the logs as well. Now I'll show you at the end also how we get the email. This was the second test case. Now it will start the third test case. Yeah, this is the third test case, guys, and at last I think it will execute the account page creation. So this is the end-to-end test. Proceed to checkout and payment. I confirm my order. So this is the end-to-end test. Now it will start the last test case. This is create an account test case. Okay, create account test. It's taking time. It will enter the email address. Yeah, and click on that create an account. Now here you can see it is entering all the data, and click on register. So this is the test case which I have implemented. Now it will, yeah, the test case is passed. So here you can see 4 test cases, failure 0. So all our 4 test cases executed successfully. Now it will collect all the reports, and it will send the email. So I'll show you the email as well. Yeah, so everything is done, and you can see we don't see those logs as well, so because of that command. Okay, so let me click on the back to project. You can access extend report from here, but let me show you through email. So here you can see we got the email, my project build 12 fixed. So all the test cases got passed, so that's why we are getting fixed. Just click on this. So hi team, please find the below automation testing results for my store project, and this is the project name, build number, fixed. And this part I forgot to show you in the last video, guys, because of the video was not captured, not recorded at the end. So here you can see this hyperlink as well, check extend report to view the full results. Okay, so you can click on this and we'll get the extend report in the next video, next window. Okay, in new window, new tab. Okay, so here you can see the date, this is the recent results, and these are the different test cases which we have executed, and this is another view, and this is the logs in the email. And if you see at bottom, we don't see those unwanted logs. Okay, so that is resolved, and we have this log4j log4j.log and build.log is attached. So this is about today, guys, how you can pass the, if you have different test data, then how you can pass in your test case with the help of collection framework. So this is the implementation of collection framework. So this is the one of the examples of collection framework. So in the same way, if you are working in a real-time project, so you may need to use this collection framework frequently. Okay, so there may be different scenarios to achieve that, to use that. Okay, so this is what this is all about today, and in the next video I'll talk about oops explanation and will relate with our framework. Okay, I'll show you how we have achieved oops concept in our framework, and I'll discuss about some tips and conclusion of our framework. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe this channel. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.